you can also acquire your competitors or your vendors in order to increase the cash positions. In this time of the day where you want to reserve monies, you want to save monies, because you want to hoard as much cash as possible. Why would you want to buy your competitors or your vendors? I'll share with you why. And disclaimer: this strategy is not a good fit for everyone, but it gets the highest reward, and I'll show you along the way. Now, data from the market shows that the SPAC activity in July reached the lowest level in 5 years. And now SPAC is basically they are they are blank check firms that are willing to write any amount of that write you a blank check to acquire companies. And as you can see, because of the condition of the market, there are literally zero deals in July. So that means the more opportunity for you if you decided to go that route. And the wisest investors of our time, Warren Buffett said, we simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy when others are fearful. I think it fits into this situation really well. And apparently the benefit of acquiring your competitors or your vendors is that you get even more cash flow, and you have access to new markets that you don't have, and you will inherit the entire customer list from the company you're buying from, and also the existing relationship you can have. And what's more, the talents, the pool of talents, right? We are in the highest inflation rate in over 40 years, and as well as the record rising wage across the board. So if you were able to acquire the talent pool, is the greatest benefit you can get. All right, show me the money. Where can you find the money, right? So like I said, this strategy is not replacing. I mean, you got to have some cash. You got to have some cash to acquire the companies, but this strategy will help you generate some cash to do acquisitions. All right, so you will acquire company by using either cash, equity, or seller financing. So let's stick with with those three elements in there. Now I'll go with you a case study here so you can see how reactivating lost customer can also give you a boost in the cash you can use to acquire companies. So in this case, assuming that you do a 50-50 deals, meaning 50% of cash, even no equity to make it simple, because equity relates to the stock price, which can fluctuate. So do a 50 cash and 50% of seller financing. So let's say you're buying a $10 million company in price, and you need $5 million in cash because the seller will carry 50% in price. So the question is that how can you find an extra $5 million to close the gap? Let's say you get some money, maybe let's say if you have half, $2.5 million, and you need to find another half, $2.5 million to put into the deal to really acquire $10 million companies. So how can you actually do that? Okay, and let's get back to the previous case that I help clients. We achieved 27% of lost customer that we were able to bring back. Now let's see. All right, so let's see the average sales $5,000, and you need to make 1,000 orders to make up $5 million, right? And what if we were able to revive 27% of your lost customers? And assuming you have $1,000 in your database, right? So 27% of 1,000 customers with 270 sales, you multiply by the sale of 5,000, that give you $1.35 million. Now, what if we were able to upsell and achieve 25% revenue out of 25% of lost customers at $1,000 each? So we got 270 lost customers that we were able to revive. You multiply by 25% of that and multiply by another 1,000. So the $67,500 is the additional revenue from the upsell. All right. When you add those two number up, you we get about $1.4 million. Not bad, not bad. All right. So what can we do next? Now remember in earlier that I shared with you where when you were able to identify an affluent customer segment in your list, you were able to charge 5 times more from the case study, or even in this case, luxury hotels, right? Now, what if we were able to help you identify the affluent customer segment, and then so that you can charge a higher price? So what that means is, so what if we help you identify the luxury customer segment so that you can sell at $25,000 package, and we're talking maybe about 5% of over 5% out of 1,000 customers that you currently have. So what that means is that the 5% of luxury customer segment at $25,000 package will give you a 1.25 million additional revenues. All right, so let's add all of the numbers up. So we got up $1.4 million from reactivating and doing upsells, plus $1.25 million from selling affluent package. So overall, you got $2.6 million, extra cash that you can use for the acquisitions. Now, remember, if you have only $2.5 million cash earlier, you can use what I'm teaching over here to generate an additional $2.6 million. All right, so that's way that should make the entire transactions happen, right? Because you have the $5 million to do the acquisitions. Apparently, that's just a hypothetical case, but as you can see, this is potentially give you the opportunity to acquire companies, acquire your competitors, acquire your vendors, so that you can not only improve your cash positions, but also you can get a whole a boatload of benefits from acquiring companies. And apparently, if you want to learn more about how to use the customer reactivation for your M&A activities, reach out to me, sending me an email with subject line of Stop Losing Service. This is my email, michael@PurdueResults.com, so we can learn more about how we can collaborate together.